is anyone there? Hello, is anybody there? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Cool, I think everything's set up. Just checking the sound levels. Just gonna wait for more people to join. Looks like it's just me and 2 others, but that's fine. I'm gonna turn this into a VOD anyway. So thanks for coming and watching my stream. I normally make these videos as a VOD, so I record them pre-hand. But I thought I'd do a live one this time. A bit more interesting, a bit more different stuff going on. Anyone in the chat can ask me questions about what I'm doing. Call me stupid, call me an idiot. I can take it, don't worry. I'm used to the 4chan trolls. So what we're going to do today is I had these arrive. If I get these down. So what do we have here? We have 1 terabyte Firecuda gaming SSDs. So ideally I would probably go for the 2 terabyte ones, but these are the only ones that I could find that are in stock. As we all know, the hard drive shortage is hitting us like a ton of bricks, and there's nothing else out there, so that's literally all I've got. So got 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. And currently in the system now we have, I'll get my other. So currently in the system we have one of these, which is a 870 Evo. If it focuses, focus, focus, focus. There we go. So this is 550 odd megabits per second. And yeah, it's a 4 terabyte, so it's quite big. And what I found is, even though I've got, oh yeah, sorry, I need to go into this as well. I've also got, I've got 4 of these bad boys, which is 14 terabyte WD Elements drives. Got 4 of those. Did have 2 initially, and I managed to pick up 2 more, which is good. But for the external ones, we're only plugging in 2 of them at the minute, and the reason for that is because I'm using one as a dev drive because I'm doing some work on the Chia network on my Mac, and I need a hard drive to practice plotting. So I'm using one of the drives for that. So that's a dev drive, and the other one I haven't plugged in yet because I haven't got enough. I haven't got that many plots anyway, so there's no point. So that's basically the setup. I've also upgraded from 16 gigabytes of RAM to 64 gigabytes of RAM, and this is the reason why I've bought these. And the reason I bought these is because what I've realized is when you're plotting, the 4 terabyte SSD, what I thought, which naively I agree is actually really incorrect, is I thought that I could plot 12 plots onto this one hard drive. Now, you're probably thinking, what an idiot, and you would be correct in thinking that. You need to do, ideally you would want like 4 of these, and you would raid 0, 2 and 2. Or you would get 2 terabytes, raid them, another 2 terabytes, raid those, but you know, beggars can't be choosers at the minute. So what I'm doing is I'm going to swap this out because do I really need this? No. The write speed for these ones is about the same, but they do have more endurance. So these have more endurance. They're gaming ones, so they're used for fast SSDs. Sorry, they're used for endurance. Anyway, whatever. I'm sidetracking. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to show you the rig itself. So I'm going to switch over to the webcam. There we go. So over here, I've got my camera on a little stick, so I can move it around and show you what I'm doing. So we're going to turn this off. I need to turn off the plots that I've got. Oh, what's happened with the stick? So the first thing I need to do... Why is the stick moving? Just stay still. Jesus, man. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to cancel the plots that I've currently got running. I was hoping they'd be finished by now, but the estimated time is overrunning a bit, but it's only a couple of plots, so I'm not that worried. We're going to turn this off. We're going to install the 3 SSDs. I'm hoping I've got enough power connectors. I think I've only got 2 remaining, which means, but I've got 4 hard drives, so I need to try and work out whether I can install those. If not, I'm just going to have to install 2 of them, buy some more power connectors, and then install the other 2 at a later date. So let's get going. Let's go to my VNC first. So let's go over to VNC mode. Here we go. And we're going to, first of all, turn off Plotman. So you can see here, it's a bit annoying because this one's almost finished. And these 2 are pretty low behind, but I don't want to stay up till 9:30 doing this. I'd rather get off to bed nice and early tonight. So I'm just going to shut these down. And I'm just going to leave it. I'm gonna have the plots still on the hard drive anyway. So if I go to my 4 terabyte, I'm gonna have all of these in temp anyway, even after I disconnect it. So I could pick up where I left off. Haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. I don't even know if it's possible. I might just have to clear them and call it a day with these 3, but we'll see. So let's turn this off safely. So let's turn that off. So over on the right I normally have Bashtop running, and on the left I have my Plotman running. So we're just going to turn this off. So I've also turned on auto login now, so VNC should start up when it restarts. I had a problem the other day where I had to log in before VNC would start, but now I've got auto login on, so I should just be able to log in and start running. So let's turn this off, and while we're turning off, we will go back over to webcam mode. There we go. So I'm hoping you can still hear me when I'm working on this, but we're going to wait for this to turn off. So there's a little LED there, as you saw it has come on. Now, for some reason, the computer doesn't actually turn off on its own, and I have to... Oh, I can't resume plots, can I? Oh well, whatever. Hopefully these 3 SSDs make up for that tonight when I leave it running overnight. Hopefully. I'm planning to do 3 plots on each drive, so I'm not going to RAID 0 them just now. I need to see how many power cables I've got. So, yeah, so what I was saying was this LED here, I don't know why, but that comes on when I shut down the machine, and then the whole machine won't turn off. And even if I hold the button around the other side... There we go, it's come off. There we go. So without further ado, let's get building. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is disconnect this safely. And I'm also going to remove the LED light as well. because we don't really need this. It's all for show. Okay, so that's all disconnected. Let's see if I can get my light a bit better. So I'm trying to do this with, I have the least amount of space possible here. So I'm really trying to make use of the space. So, first thing we need to do, is get round to the back of this and yep, so we need to get around to the back of this and disconnect the SSD from the back. Luckily I haven't put the panels on yet, so let's turn this around. Oh. This case is really good, by the way, for hard drive mining, because as you can see here, I've done this in my my rig video the other day, a couple of weeks ago, but these two white things hold 4 hard drives each, so it's really, really good for hard drive mining. The only problem is the motherboard, I only have 4 SATA 6 slots, and I've had to get a PCIe card to add another 4 if I need 4 in the future. So, but for now I don't actually need another 4, and I'm more interested in plotting rather than taking up hard drive space with farms. So we've got to take this out. So that's my 4 terabyte that I'm going to, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I might have to park it for now until I can get some more power connectors. So I'm just going to have a look here and see if we've got any. So that's the SATA cable. Yeah, so just as I thought, it looks like we've only got 2 connectors free. So I'm going to have to buy some more Molex connectors online tonight, and then hopefully they'll come tomorrow and I'll plug in the other 2. That's really annoying. Oh well. So I've only got 1 cable here, so I need to find the other 2. Luckily, here's one I made earlier. Got some cables in here. There we go. So I need 1 for now. I'm going to install the other ones tomorrow. I'll be back in 2 seconds. How many DTB plots do I have? So I've got 4 14 terabytes and I've got 4 16 terabytes. Makes about 100. It makes exactly 130 plots. 130 terabytes. So I've got 130 terabytes of total farm space, minus a couple of terabytes because you know hard drives are never exactly 16. A little bit under. Be back in a second. I'm just going to check my power box. I think I've got some cables in there. Damn, so I've only got Molex, old style hard drive, Molex, more Molex, and yeah, I've got nothing. They're all useless to me at this stage, so I'm gonna have to buy some more. So I can only install 2 of my SSDs. Really sucks. So that's alright though. We should be able to get 6 plots on the go at any one time. Hope maybe 8, not sure yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these 2. And I'm going to RAID 0 them. So let me turn over my camera. Oh, I have such a small office. I'm lucky to have an office, but you know, it's quite annoying having to move around in here. So I'm just opening the boxes because I forgot to open them before the stream. Ugh, God, these things are such a bitch to open, aren't they? There we go, there's the goodies. I swear, this is literally like, you know on Christmas Day, when you come downstairs when you're a little kid and you got all these presents on your Christmas tree? And you just, you know, this is like chocolate for me. You know, you come down Christmas and you open all your chocolate. I love opening stuff. How many plots do I make per day? Well, I've had a few teething pains because I've only just started doing this. I started doing off about 3 or 4 a day, 12 a day. And then I went down to about 3 a day because I got over ambitious. I got loads of RAM with 1 SSD and then ended up taking more time to make the plots. So I went down to about 6 per day. But now I figured out that if I've got 3 SSDs, I should be able to do 3 or 4 plots on each one every 6 or 7 hours. Which means, in theory, that'll be 6, 12, 18, 24, hopefully about 50 to 60 plots a day. Hopefully. That's the theory. Okay, so that's 2. Yes, I am on AMD. I have a, forgotten what it is, I always forget the number. I have a Ryzen 7 3700X 4.4 GHz processor. It's not the best, but I thought it would do the job. I could have spent a bit more and got a slightly better one, but you know, I didn't really know how addicted to this I was going to get. Yeah, I think it's got like 14 cores. Sorry, 12 cores. I'm not quite. I can't remember how many cores it's got, but I know that when I was plotting the 12, it was like 50% capacity. So I know for a fact that the bottleneck is the SSD. So I'm hoping if I upgrade the SSDs, I'll have a more realistic plotting average. Hopefully, so we just got to see. It's all a learning curve, you know. It's just like you got to find out what's best for you, what's best for your rig. Because I see a lot of messages in this. I'm in the Spacepool Discord, and you know, people ask like, how many plots can I get per day on this rig? And it's like, well, you need to experiment. You need to try it for a day, see how many plots you get, tweak the settings, do it for another day, tweak the settings, do it for another day. You just have to, you know, it's all trial and error. You can estimate, but at the end of the day, you're never going to get it right. How many threads you use on every plot? I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. But I am going to monitor that next time. So once all these go live, I'm going to try and monitor the plots better. I'm going to look at the logs, and I found a tool where you can output the logs to a special graph, and you can look at where your bottlenecks are. So I'm going to definitely use that. Right, so let's install these hard drives. I've got my. Where's my cable? I've lost my cable. I seem to have lost my cable. Where has it gone? Oh, there it is. No, it's right there. See, cable. I thought I lost it, but you know I've got it still. So let's turn back to my webcam, the webcam, and let's see if we can get this in. So let's plug in the power cables. Now, I'm really bad, but normally I would put these on like a slot somewhere, like in there, but I haven't got any. There we go, both in. So I need to try and position these so they actually don't bend and stuff. So let's just do that. I'm just going to bend it like a loop, like that, so I can rest it inside the gap. Oh, God. Please don't hate me for watching me do this. Okay, I think we're good for now, but I do need to buy some kind of tray for these things, because that is not good. Especially I'm going to have 4 in there. I can just about fit 2 in there. How am I going to fit 4 in there? Right, let's put the panel on. Okay, and now I need to plug this cable into one of the SATA 6 slots. There we go, all done, all done. Let's turn this thing on. Okay, I'm going to go back to my other camera and turn on my moody lighting. Okay, now for the fun bit. Well, this is the bit that I find fun anyway. We've got just got to wait for my VNC to come online. Falcon. Hopefully it turns on, because if it doesn't I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, so my VNC is not cut. Oh, there we go. VNC is on. Right, cool. Yeah, it worked. My auto login worked. Great. I'm going to turn my VNC on, but I'm also going to try and activate my my camera scene that I've got, so you can see my face. Not that I'm vain or anything, but you know, I like. It's always nicer when you've got someone to see, you know, when they're talking. So I'm just going to put my little camera down there. There we go. Okay, switch camera. Cool, so here we go, guys. This is the fun bit. So before I get started, one thing I did want to do is my drives aren't currently mounting on startup, and it's really irritating because I have to like go through. I'll show you exactly what I have to do. You see this? So when I go to my other locations, I have to like click each one of these every time that I start Ubuntu, and it's really irritating. And if you notice, my two 1TB disks aren't showing at the minute, and that's because they're not formatted. So I've got two 1TB disks here, and I'm going to RAID 0 them. But currently, they will not work because why have they got different? Oh, it's got different serial numbers. That makes sense. So yeah, I need to make these auto mount on startup. And then I'm going to RAID 0 those two SSDs over there. So let's go to... I need to go to disks. And we're going to go to cog. And we're going to edit mount options. There we go. Right. So we've got user... We do have session defaults, but that applies to like every hard drive. But obviously I want a different mount location for each one. So I'm going to call this one 16x01. That's where it's going to mount to. And I think that's all I need. Yeah, that's right. So let's enter my password. And then we're going to go to the second one. I'm going to turn that off, and we're going to call it 16x02. So the 16 just stands for 16 gig. I've got to put my password every single time. It's ridiculous. So silly. And then we'll go to our third one, and we'll sort out our name for this one. So 16x03. And the password, and then we'll do the same with this one as well. It's funny, I'm typing my password on here, and I remember seeing an ethical hacking video once, and they said that apparently you can put the sound through like a special device, like an algorithm detector, and it'll actually work out what keys you're pressing, so they can crack your password from the sound of your key presses. That's crazy. I don't know if I believe it or not, but it sounds like something that some people might do. Okay, so I'm just going to eject these four. And then I'm actually going to click each one again. And we're going to see whether it's actually mounted to that position in the hard drive. So I need to open up my terminal. And I'm going to CD into the root, and then I should have a mount drive. And we've got 16x01, you see that? I know you probably can't see it, it might be a bit small, but here we've got 16X01, which means it has mounted correctly. And that also means that every time that we start up the system, it will automatically mount to that drive. So I haven't got to go through it and click them all to initialize them. It will just do it automatically. So let's go through all of these other ones. And it's also kind of weird because the external hard drives, these two 14 terabyte ones I've got, they just automatically mount because they're not mounted, they're media drives. So the internal drives previously were being treated as media drives, which is why they were going to the media folder. And now they're being mounted as proper drives. I might be able to do the same with this actually. If we do edit mount options. Ah, cool. Yeah, I'm going to do it with this actually as well. So we're going to call this 14 Western Digital 1. And we're going to call this one 14 WD2. As you can tell, I'm an absolute maniac for naming conventions. I am a software engineer after all. So all we have to do is go back to other locations. We need to eject these and then remount them. There we go. There's one and there's two. And now if we do an LSLA, we can see all of our mount drives. Now this is important because when we edit our Plotman config in a minute, we're going to have to reset the directory, because at the minute they're pointed to the old media location. I'm going to have to move them to this location. Although saying that, I think it will still work, so it is backwards compatible, because they should still be in here. All I've essentially done is created like a... Oh no, I haven't, never mind. Yeah, so I thought it would have created a symlink, but it hasn't. It's actually demounted them and then mounted them from the /dev directory on Linux. So that's done. So we've got all our external hard drives set up. They're now mounting automatically when we start up the machine. The next thing we need to do is we need to RAID 0 these two SSDs. So as I said before, it's a bit of a shame because I bought 3. What I might do is I might try and get hold of a 4th one, ditch the 4 terabyte SSD, use that as a spare drive for my gaming PC, and then we can have 4 of the same Barracuda, 4 of the same Firecuda, not Barracuda, that's the other model. Firecuda, we can have 4 Firecudas running in sync, 2 parallel plots. 2 sets of RAID 0s and 4 plot them. So, yeah, so a really cool tool that I like using is something called MDAM, or I think it's called MDADM, or DAD. MD, I might have to start it from the terminal. Let's go to our terminal. So if I type in okay, I'm gonna have to look through my history because I've completely forgotten the name. If you want to find out how to look through your history, there's a really cool trick in Linux, and you can essentially do history, which will give you all of the commands that you previously typed, but then you can do a pipe grep and you can type in what you think it is. So I think it's something to do with mdad. Yeah, there we go. So I've installed mdad, so I just have to call that. I'm sure I used something else. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so next thing we need to do, right? So if we just move this up here, I'm gonna have to open up another terminal window. I'll detach that so it's a bit easier to see. So what mdadum is trying to get me to do is it wants me to create the RAID drive at a certain level. It wants me to specify the amount of devices, and then it wants me to list all the devices that I want to RAID. Now, as you can see here from my previous command that I've typed in before, some time ago, actually this is number 43, so this would be when I first formatted the system. I formatted 4 of the drives together into one. We want to do a RAID 0 on 2 devices, and then we want to list which ones they are, which is 2 terabyte ones, 2 1 terabyte drives. So let's go to okay, we need to go to /dev, and then in here are all of our like things like USB drives, hard drives, loads of other stuff, in the loopback interfaces, and we need to try and find our SDA, SDB. Here we go. So you see these drives here. These drives here are all the drives that I've currently got connected to this machine. So I need to work out which ones of these are the 1 terabyte drives. So if I come down here, you can actually type in DF, and it makes it a bit easier. Although the problem is they are actually they're now mounted, so it doesn't actually. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's on the left actually, on the column. So now I can actually work out which ones are the 1 terabyte drives. Are they actually there? I can't see them. Okay. We might need to format them first and then raid them, possibly. Let's try doing that. We've got nothing to lose. It's very, very quick. So, is this right? I don't know. What does that go up to? SD. Well, where are STA and STB? That's the question. Because we've got STA and STB. I think STA and STB are actually the 1 terabyte drive. So what you can do is if you type in DF, that will give you a list of all your mounted drives, and then the ones that aren't in your /dev, the ones that are in your /dev that aren't in DF, you know that they're the ones that aren't actually raided yet. So I'm going to copy this command up here, and we're going to modify it. And we're going to put in raid level 0, raid, oh crap, what was that? Raid devices equals 2, and /dev dva, sorry, SDA, and then /dev /SDB. Okay, let's try that. Must be super user. Okay, let's type in sudo. When in doubt, sudo. That should be a t-shirt idea, shouldn't it? Don't steal that, that's my idea. I'm gonna make that t-shirt. Okay, so that's now being raided, I think. How do I actually know? Okay, let's do that history function again. Okay, m-m stop install create. Yeah, level 0 raid devices 2. That's the one we just typed in. Alright, let's type in m-dadm device. I've completely forgotten how to do this. I feel like a noob. Proper noob. I only did this the other day. mdm manage report monitor. To be sudo. Can I type sudo? No. I'll type sud, not sudo though. Okay. Let's type in mdadm devices. Incremental monitor device. Okay, so I think it's actually working in the background. So I might need to. I need to work out how to actually monitor what's happening in the background because I can't see it. What's monitor do? Monitor dash H. Monitor. No, I don't think that's the right one. Okay. Right. When in doubt, use Firefox. mdad get status of raid. Here we go. I knew Stack Exchange will come to my rescue. So we need to type in this command here. Must be super user. Jeez, that's annoying. I should go to sudo su actually. Actually, let's do that. Sudo su. And then we can type in anything we want without having to worry about that. So, okay, cool. It looks like it's doing its job. Does it actually say when this will be ready? No, it doesn't. What do from WA state? What's WA? Is that Washington? I don't know America very well. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to America, to be honest with you. I know like east side, west side, and there's like 5-hour time difference and 8-hour time difference. That's pretty much all I know about America. So does this mean then that it is actually... Oh, it is Washington. Great. Good. Is it Washington? US state WA. Washington. Yes. What a guess. Are you in Portland, Seattle? Where are you from? Or are you from this place over here? This little corner of the state? Okay, so let's get back down to business. I think that raid has now been made, and I should be able to see it, but I'm not currently seeing it. So I think I need to mount. it. So let's go back to Stack Overflow. mdad mount a raid. I read this before this one. So I should be able to... Aberdeen. Oh, there's a place called Aberdeen in Scotland. In good old UK. To start all arrays, define the configuration. Type blah 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 blah. Increasing number of devices. Oh, we could probably... Oh, you can't do that with RAID 0, unfortunately. So we need to do this cat proc md stat, and that'll give us our personality, active, RAID 0, SDA, SDB. But how do we mount them? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's coming up as a RAID member. Maybe I need to format this now. Let's call this 1TB, and then we'll call it Fire FC Fire Cooler. 1TB FC. No. F 1 FC 1. Yeah. Right, okay. It's in use. Can I do it with this one? One FC 1. Nope. Querying information. Let's type in this because I know it's. Oh, what's happened here? I'm just going to copy this command and put it into our terminal. Okay, so we've got our. It's active. So how do we actually use it then? If anyone knows anything about this, let me know. I thought I was an expert, but apparently not. Stopping an array, starting an array. Okay, let's try and start. Oh god, why do I keep doing this? Okay, I'm going to try and start the array. Oh, it's already active. No arrays found in config file or automatically. RAID 5 or 6 with RAID 0, there we go. Because RAID 0 arrays cannot have spare drives, there is no chance for a spare to rebuild a damaged RAID 0 array. We must add the new device at the same time that we grow the array. First, find out the current member of the RAID devices in the array. Okay. This is pretty much my job, by the way. When you're doing programming, you spend most of your time on Googling stuff and looking at how to do things. We can now increment the number of RAID devices in the same operation as the new drive edition. We don't want to do that. We literally just want to see the device and then run it. Deleting an array. Conclusion, great, okay. That was completely and utterly useless. Let's see if we can get the status of it again. Has this actually changed at all? No. Is it in my mount drive? RAID this one, it's there. I can see it. CD RAID disk 1. There we go. That's it. That's the terabyte. Is it in DF? How to mount a mdadum RAID. Oh, what an idiot. Look, there it is. Is that okay? So once you've raided them with m.m, it will actually be. It will be at the bottom of your disk management window. So you see here, there's this new thing that's popped up, and that is essentially, it's almost like it's like a virtual drive that's been created on the back of these two drives up here. So all you need to do is come to this one and format this one, I think. So if we do let's do RAID 0, and then we'll do 1 FC1. Because then what we can do is when we have the second raid, we'll do RAID 0, 1 FC2, and then we've got a nice little naming convention. There we go. Mounted. There we go. 2 terabyte disk. Now I know you can't really see it that well, but that's 2 terabytes. So now if we do LSLA on here, and we go to CD RAID disk 1, and then we can, I want to make a dir called, actually let's exit sudo first, and go to mnt, list all these, go into RAID disk 1, and I want to make a dir called Chia. Okay, I haven't got permissions. Why not? Root, it's a root drive. Okay. Let's just go into here then and make it here. There we go. So what I like to do is I like to add a folder called Chia, just in case I need to like move it around, and you know, you basically subfolder your system so that if you need to make changes, it's a lot easier. If you've got everything in the root directory and then you've got a bit of space on the end and you want to put something else in there, it's a lot harder to do that. So we've now RAID 0'd that. So okay, so the next thing we need to do is set up Plotman. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. And do I need this? Have I got it mounted? Ooh, hold up. This isn't mounted properly. It's treating my RAID as a media drive. Okay, let's fix that quickly before we carry on. So in here, if we go to edit mount options, and we're going to have to mount this to RAID disk 1. Actually, no, we're going to do RAID 0, 1 FC1. Remember, we need to keep that naming convention. So now if I do an ls in here, I should see it. I need to unmount it and then remount it again. So let's go to here, go to our folder with our other locations, and we're just going to unmount that, and then we're going to click it again and it will remount. So if I go back to my terminal and do lsla, you can see here that I've now got my RAID there. The only other question is, why is this one not green? It looks like the permissions have changed on this drive, and also why have I still got RAID disk 1 there? I'm not going to question it just now, but I think we will probably end up removing those later. So let's close this. So Plotman, we've got a list of our drives over on the left hand side. So let's just move this up a little bit so people can see it, because the chat window's in the way. Not that you can see it anyway, because it's quite small. So on the left hand side, I'm just going to type in df, and that'll give us the drive locations for all of our temporary and our all our plotting drives and all of our farming drives. So now we need to open up Plotman. Now I know maybe some people already know this, but I'm just going to go through it again. So if you need to go to your folder where you have Chia installed. So mine is in project/Chia-blockchain. And as you can see here, these are all the files, and we need to go into our environment, our Python environment. So you can do that by doing //activate, and that will enable our Python environment for the Chia blockchain application. And then if we go into cd Chia-blockchain-GUI, you can now actually run this. So if I do npm run electron, it will open up my wallet. I think it shows my keys, so I'm just going to hide it down here. And I'm going to pop it over the top so I can click it without people seeing my key. I don't want people seeing my key now, do we? Okay, let's click that. There we go. So this is the Chia application. You don't have to start this, but I like starting it just in case. You know, it gets it syncing, gets it ready for when Plotman goes live. And then here we can see all our plots that are currently non-existent because it hasn't synced yet. So we need to give that a bit of a while to sync. We can also, once you've done npm run electron, you can actually cancel that, and it shouldn't. Oh, okay, it killed it killed my my window. Let's do that again. Okay, so we're going to click the private key, and then we're going to just leave that running. So, okay, no harm done. Let's open up a new tab. We will have to go back into the directory we were before, and then do a dot forward slash activate. That'll get us into our Python environment. Now we can do our Plotman commands. Now in Plotman, there's a config option called path or generate. We've already got one, so we need to go into our path. And if we type in Plotman config path, it will give us our location. Then we can copy that, and we can do vim, and then go into our Plotman config. So this is where all the magic's going to happen. Now, so I've got, at the minute, I've got two 1 terabyte drives, and they're RAID zeroed, which treats them as the same drive. So I should be able to do 3 on each drive individually, which means I can now do 6 on a RAIDed setup. So that's where I'm going to go with this. So we're going to make sure that we've got 6 global max jobs. So we'll put down 6. Temp max jobs. Don't run more than this many jobs at any time on a single tempter. So we want to make sure that's 3. And we want to make sure our max jobs is 6. And our global stagger should be 30. Buckets 128, threads 2, job buffer 3390. That all looks good. And K32. And then if we go to the top of this file, we can see all of our temp drives and our destination drives. So we need to now change these, because remember, we've changed them all to mount now, so it should be really easy to get these mounted. So our first drive is going to be, actually we've only got one because we're still waiting for the other hard drives to come, and my power connectors. So we're going to do /mnt, and then on the left hand side we want to put in the name of this RAIDed mount drive. So we want to copy this from the mounted on location and paste that into there. And then we want to do the same for the destination drives. So all of these are now useless, so we're just going to literally delete all of these. There we go. And we need to go through each of these one by one and add them. And then we've got 2. You see, because I've mounted them all with a good naming convention, it makes it really easy to add them to your config. So naming conventions are a good thing. People think it's a waste of time, but it does help a lot. And then we need to copy the Western Digital ones as well, the external ones. So we've got 14WD1 and 14WT2. There we go. And I've also just realised we've got these temp overrides. We don't need these, so we're because all our drives are going to be the same, we don't need these lines here, so we'll comment those out. Our logs directory is good. Our mount drives are good. Now remember, I've still got another 2 14 terabyte drives to go in, but I haven't added those yet because I'm going to add those when my farming space gets a bit higher, because I don't actually need them at the minute. Stagger phase major, stagger phase minor, we will talk about this next. It allows you to make sure that the phases of the building of the plots don't overrun each other. Now in phase 1 your RAM usage will be 4 GB. In phase 2 it'll go down to about 1.5, and then in phase 3 it'll go back to 4. And what you want to do is stagger the jobs so you're not using up all of your RAM at any one time. However, we've got 64 gigabytes of RAM, so it's not that important for us, but for a lot of people it is. And also I found that if I set this to low, phase 1 basically takes forever because I had it on one drive. So I was trying to write all these different plots to one drive, and it was taking too long because the read and the write speed wasn't that great. So, and the stagger phase limit is how many of phase 1 you can have in any one temp drive at the same time. We want to have that as 1, so we want to make sure that we've only got one phase 1 plot going, and the others should be phase 2, 3 and 4. So we want to make sure that's like that as well. I might tweak these in the future, and I might actually see if we can run possibly 4 on each 1 terabyte. It's a little bit risky though, because if you think about it, they can use up to 260 gig per plot, and we've got 1 terabyte drives, so if you do the math we might be slightly over, but if we stagger them correctly we can actually maximize the amount of plots that go into any one drive, and we can make sure that they're staggered correctly so that when they expand and contract, when they're doing the algorithms, it won't use up all of the space at any one time, which is a good thing. So if you want to do more plots on one drive, so we're not going to be greedy. You know, consistency is key. We want to make sure that we're plotting all the time. We don't want to overload the system because then it will take too long, and we want our plots as quick as possible. So we're going to save this file. Oh, actually, something else I wanted to bring up as well. So someone in the comments on my video said something about these farmer PK and pool PKs, and they said that you will be able to backwards compatible. You'll be able to use old plots on the pooling. I don't think that's the case, because when you build up a plot you need to enable it for pooling in the first place, because it uses a completely different algorithm and a hash table on the plot. So the fact that you have farmer PK here and pool PK here does not mean that you'll be able to use the old plots on pooling. We don't know for sure, but that's everyone's best guess at the minute. Just wanted to clear that up. Okay, so we've set up our config, so the next thing we need to do is start plotting. So let's make sure that our so our node's synced. We've got our farms all in there. We should have how many? Farm. Maybe it's in here. Where is our? There's a screen where it tells you your amount of plots that have been farmed. Maybe it's still initializing. They haven't been added, have they? Okay, yeah. So because we changed the mount locations, we're going to have to re-add these. Don't worry, they're not deleted for good. We just need to add the plot directories. So let's go to our first one. Select plot directory. Go to our second one. And go to our third one. It's a good thing I did that because I completely forgot about that. And our fourth one, you can do this over the CLI as well, by the way. And now we need to add our elements drives. So we'll add that one. Also, another question that I got asked the other day is why would you space out your plots over all the different hard drives? And the reason is there isn't really one, because your the transfer rate that you're going to be moving them from the SSD to the external hard drives is going to be quite slow anyway, because it's limited by the speed of the external hard drive, and your SSD is way faster than that. But it's nice just to have like a load of different ones going to different drives, because if you have them all going to one drive, then that one drive dies. You've lost all your plots. So it's good to spread them out. Because remember, we're not raiding these. You can raid them, but then you lose the space on the, you know, if you're doing raid 5 and you've got 4 drives, you're going to lose a whole drive. So yeah, it's just nice to space them out, because we don't want to do raids for those. There's no point. So there we go. All of our raids, all of our newly mounted drives are now there, and we've got 62 plot count, estimated time to win 8 months, and block reward 0. Sad face. So yeah, we have no block rewards this year. I have got one Chia that I bought on Gate.io, but yeah, I haven't Yeah, no plots minder yet. So let's. So now that we've got Chia set up, we've got our Plotman configuration set up. Now we can actually run the actual Plotman interactive command. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to close this window here. We don't need that anymore. And for my stream, I like to set it up in this way here, so that I've got one window there, and then I've got another window over here. Because what I like doing is a really cool tool called Bashtop. It needs to be a minimum of 80 columns or 90 columns. Let's do 90. So we type in Bashtop. There we go. It's really cool. We can see all of our drives, and we can see all of our processes, and it shows us all of our memory being used. So you'll see this skyrocket up as your phases go in and out. So if you can just about see it behind the chat here, but I'm going to type in Plotman Interactive. I need to fix that chat so it doesn't go over any of my terminals. Plotman Interactive. There we go. So it started already. Are all of our temp drives there though? Oh, we've only got one temp drive at the minute, haven't we? There we go, that's pretty much it. So, what's the question? Plotman IR SWA plotter. What? Can you say that again? I didn't quite understand that. Are you saying Plotman versus SWA? Or are you saying, are they the same thing? Because they're not the same thing. Why do I use Plotman? So there's no reason really. It's just when I was looking around, I found Plotman first. I am actually doing it. So if I can't actually show you this, can I show you? 2 seconds. Let's go to my camera. So I have this setup. This is my setup. So this is my setup here. So this is my development machine over there. And this here is one of my 14 terabyte hard drives. Now, it's a bit of a secret, but I'm actually doing some development work on SWA, Plot on SWA. It's a bit of a secret because I'm building an app for it, and I don't really want to say what it is. So I don't want anyone to steal my idea. But I'm doing some development work with this, and I'm going to be switching over to SWA Plotter, and I'll make sure that I make a video on how to set that up as well as this one. So just bear with me. There is no difference between the two. They're just different people making them. They both work exactly the same way. SWA actually has more defined configurations, so you can actually optimize your plots a lot better on SWA. But Plotman does the job, and it's the first one I found, and I can't bother to switch everything over. So there's no difference between the two. That's the short answer. Okay. I hope that answers your question anyway. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done here. There's nothing else that I need to do in terms of setup. Does anyone have any more questions? I know I've only got 4 viewers, but I thought I might ask them, just in case there's someone out there who wants to ask questions. I don't care if they're stupid. I'll try and answer them as best I can. Okay, no one's asked any questions, so I'm assuming nobody has any. Thanks for... oh, I've got another question. Okay, thanks for doing this. Did you plot and farm on the same rig? Yes, I do. I plot and farm on the same rig. So the rig that I've got is behind me. So this rig here is my machine, and I built it about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Normally I've got an LED light plugged in. To make it look really pretty. There we go. Looks cool, doesn't it? 97% pre-mine doesn't look good. Is that for Chia? Okay. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That is quite high. Is that 97% pre-mined for the current amount of space on the network? Because if I open up Chia blockchain, we've got 9.6 EIB, which is, I think, does that stand for exabytes? I've forgotten what it stands for. Does that mean 90% of that amount is mined? So if more people download more storage, does that increase? I don't know any of this. I don't know that answer. Just gonna switch to my VNC. So on my VNC here, we've got our Chia blockchain GUI. So this number here is 6. So it's almost 7 EIB on the total network. Does that mean that 97% of that is pre-mined, or 97% of any future space that gets created? So if more hard drives come on the network, will that number get lower? That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna assume you've gone somewhere because you're not replying. I'm gonna log off now. But I just want to say thanks for coming. I will make sure to do another one of these at some point. Hopefully I'll have more people on. I do like actually doing these. I think they're a lot more useful than just commenting, because people can just ask me questions in real time. I don't know the answers to everything, but I try and do as best I can. Okay, yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time on the next stream. Remember to keep watching my videos. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm going to make sure that I keep this up for future use. So if anyone wants to, if anybody does want to, you know, come and ask questions in the comments on this video after the fact, after it's already gone onto YouTube, then feel free. Let me know if you liked the format, whether or not you found it useful, and we'll see you next time. Alright, see you later guys, bye bye.
Again.